Scam alert. Joining me now is Steve Bernas of the Better Business Bureau. And Steve, always good to have you on the show with the latest scam. And you say this is prime time for moving scams. Why is that?
Because usually between May 1st and Labor Day, half of the people move. And the scammers follow the money. So they know you're moving, and they will try to find money and way to scam you out of your money. But there's also not only scam artists, but there's also people that call themselves a business when they're truly not a business. What I mean by that, they're not licensed or regulated, and they shouldn't be moving you, but they tell you they are, and those are consumers are not checking.
What's the best direction that consumers can take to find out who's licensed and who's not, and who's just a fake?
Basically, if it's interstate movers, they have to be licensed by the federal government, so you should check with the federal government in those situations. Online is simple. Locally, depending on what state you live in, you can check with your local authorities to see if they're actually licensed. A lot of consumers, the business will tell them they're licensed, and the consumers don't check out that they are licensed, so make sure you check out what the state.
So you actually have to check the license to make sure it's a real license.
Exactly,
wow.
Because people tell you anything you want to hear when they're trying to scam you or they're a bad business. They'll tell you anything you want to hear, and unfortunately that's what happens. Consumers find out they really weren't licensed to operate.
What's the number one complaint you hear from consumers who were ripped off and moving scams?
Always the number one scam to the Better Business Bureau across the country is always bait and switch. And what I mean by that, they call you up and you get a price, and all of a sudden they start moving you, and then they take your stuff to the house or apartment you're moving to, and they say, you know what, it's more than we thought, we need more money, or if you don't pay us, we are not going to release your goods to you as well. So a lot of the bait and switch, and the way around that is by making sure you have somebody come into your house and look at your product or your move, and not just rely on the phone calls, because the people on the phone calls are telemarketers, and they basically are just trying to find a mover for you as well. So it's like a third party. So do it yourself, call them to their house, and get your estimate from them.
Should you get everything in writing, and how important is that? And will it stand up?
Well, obviously you want everything in writing from them, whatever they promise you. It will stand up in the court of law if you have it part of your contract. A lot of times consumers will hear hearsay information, and it doesn't mean anything when they tell you, oh yeah, we'll move you on this day for this amount of money. You want everything in writing so you're protected as well. And one thing consumers have to remember is that they lose a TV or break a TV, it's not a matter of the value of the TV, it's a matter of the poundage of the TV. So the insurance kicks in by the weight of the product, not the replacement value.
Wonderful tips.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Steve.
My pleasure.